We are mildly interesting guys, and we talk about some stuff. So welcome to the podcast, we call it Joel the Podcast. It's Alex and it's Alex, here for Joel the Podcast. Hello everybody, I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex.
I'm Alex.
And this is our podcast,
Joel.
Welcome to episode 63 of Joel the Podcast, and today we have a very special guest. It's Joel himself. Welcome, Joel, to the podcast. He's not saying anything at the moment, but you definitely heard his voice in the intro, so...
Alright, let's move on.
Yeah, so first I wanted to let everyone know that Nathan does not owe me $1.
Alex owes me some significant amount of money right now, but I don't think any of us really knows what it is.
It's just money.
Some amount of money that will be determined later.
It's worth more than cash. Okay, so with that out of the way, we should move on to sports, and it hasn't really been a week since the last time we recorded. So, what was the score of that other game that you mentioned?
Clemson and
Georgia Tech.
It was 73-7.
Nice.
That's interesting.
The NFL played its first Tuesday night game in 10 years. In 2010, they had a Tuesday night game because there was a blizzard on the Sunday, so they rescheduled the game. So, that's about it, I think.
Cool. This is going great.
This is not going well. Did we get any emails this week?
We did get an email this week.
Let's see it.
It's from Cephalopod Master, as always.
As always.
Subject line, I'm a dumbass. And he says, this is Olaf. I think Olaf's floofiness deserves more international attention. I don't know if we can give him international attention, but we can certainly look at him ourselves.
We can certainly give him national attention.
Yes. We are from different places, so that counts as national.
Yes. So we are now looking at a screenshot of an Instagram post of a cat, who I assume is Olaf.
Yep, Olaf the Norwegian forest cat from Colorado.
And it's very fluffy.
It is.
So, go check out Olaf, the Norwegian forest cat. One word, all underscores.
So not one word.
Well, it's like one continuous...
No spaces.
No spaces.
The spaces are underscores instead of spaces.
Right.
So there are no spaces, just underscores.
One string of uninterrupted... Yeah, it's interrupted by underscores, but that's not that's not relevant. It's a cat. Just go check it out.
Yes.
And maybe it will get international attention.
Yeah, we could post this image on our website. Would that be illegal?
To post it on our website?
Yeah, some sort of. They probably have some kind of copyright on the image that they upload. And if not Olaf having that copyright, then surely Instagram does, right?
I don't know. Like at sporting events, they tell you to tweet pictures and then they show them on the screen. So maybe they're just public domain for anyone to use.
I mean, in that specific case, they're asking you to tweet pictures, and you're tweeting pictures.
Right, but they're getting it from Twitter.
No, well, so they're using Twitter as the platform, but you're consenting to share your image to the other participants in that event. It's not like they then post those pictures on a website, I think.
I just saw the hands on your router, by the way.
It's great.
It's great.
There was a middle hand, but it fell off, and I'm going to fix that now that I'm thinking about it, because otherwise I just probably won't fix it.
So, alright, well, thanks for the email, Cephalopod, as always. If you want to send us an email, we're always open to them. You can find it at our website, which is alexandalex@joelthepodcast.github.io/alexandalexjoelthepodcast.
Website,
thank you. I was just taking a breath. And Nathan's going to check that out right now. And, so send us an email. So today we are going to be talking about a movie. And the movie we checked out this week was called Mind Gamers on Netflix. And it was a doozy. It was so. I mean, I wouldn't recommend you go watch this movie, but it's basically about a computer who can. I'm not even sure how to describe it. If you want to take a stab.
In the past, what we've done is we've like walked through the plot of
Right.
the movie and kind of commented as we went.
Right.
I don't think that's an appropriate way to approach this movie.
Not only is it not an appropriate way, I don't think it's really possible to do that. I don't really know what the plot was.
So, I guess the best I can say is like there are some researchers that are trying to like link people's consciousness together,
Right.
and they do it,
Right.
and it's bad and everyone dies,
Right.
but it turns out that that's alright because there was just a computer with an alternate universe,
Yeah.
and already that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so I think the basic idea, and again, this is not my fault that it does not make any sense, it's just what the movie was, is that there are multiple universes, and they kind of try to get you to understand that as they go throughout the movie, but it's very unclear until pretty much the end. And basically, they link all these consciousnesses together, and then this computer, I think it's like a quantum computer, which can see multiple realities, realizes that this reality is bad because all these people are linked together, and so she kind of collapses it by killing everyone, I think is the idea, and then that reality ceases to exist, and,
Yeah.
and the main reality is the one where the guy didn't invent this technology.
So there's a character who has this theory that it's so dumb. It's so dumb. I just the way to describe it is she says that there's a woman standing on a ledge, like a rooftop ledge,
Right?
and she's like, in one reality she falls, and in one reality she doesn't fall.
Right.
But she has to always not fall,
Right, and-
because if she does fall,
Then it's bad?
then I don't really know
I mean,
what.
her
honestly,
implication was like if she falls, then that reality like collapses somehow.
right.
But
for
I'm not
her,
sure.
I guess.
I'm not sure. Right, and so then the girl kills herself by falling off a ledge in the middle of the movie.
Right. And
And the movie just
but by
goes
that
on.
by that point in the movie, you're just like, oh well, I guess she was wrong because she clearly just died.
Well, when she died, I expected her to like come back to life or something, or like something to happen at least, and it seemed like nothing happened as a result. But I guess it did, because that allowed the computer person. By the way, the computer in this movie was
Is
manifested as a person.
I think.
No, it definitely was. That was definitely the computer.
Okay.
And
It was the computer though.
right.
Okay.
And then so she was able to join their group of scientists to replace the girl that killed herself.
And at that point, she's like guiding them toward
Just all being dead, I
like
guess.
killing. Literally, it's just a plot to kill everyone at that point. But that's good. And then it happens.
This is total nonsense. So yeah. That's, I guess, the general idea of what happens in the movie. But they did a very bad job of... let's start out with your biggest pet peeve of the movie. Why don't you go tell the listeners what it was, because you were complaining about this during the movie the other night.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about now. I was like, how can I pick just one thing? But so, alright, I think that one of the biggest problems that has absolutely nothing to do with the plot, it's
Right.
just the way the movie was shot. They had all of these, like, ridiculously disorienting pans that just started somewhere and then went, like, upside down and sideways and all sorts of other nonsense.
Right, so they would like start like facing forward, and then they would like pan down to the floor, and then just keep panning, so they were like facing backwards upside down.
Looking, and you don't like. During that pan, you're thinking like, "Oh, was I not looking at a wall before?"
Right, like I
and
thought
then
they would have
is
stopped
this
at
the
the
ceiling,
floor.
and then there's just someone standing upside down in the end of the shot, and that's not like a good shot to end on. Like
Yeah.
there's no. So if you weren't panning,
Right.
you wouldn't have that shot next. So you shouldn't pan to it
Right.
because that's not a good shot,
Right.
and the panning doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And I think what we're kind of getting at here is that this panning, and also there was another thing that the movie tried to do where they would have like birds flying around, and that they were like meant to like symbolize something, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what.
I never really got it. It was like sort of associated with the computer.
Right. The thing
And
is,
maybe also death because they were down there when, like, right before she jumped off.
right.
The one girl.
Yeah, so this movie was clearly trying to make itself out to be like a very highbrow, cerebral,
Mind bending.
mind-bending movie where at the end you would be like, oh my gosh, well, like everything would start to make sense, like I guess like maybe in a cascade or something. But the problem was they did a very like, first of all, for the first half of the movie at least, you have zero idea of what's going on, right?
Right.
Because they're inserting random like, not flashbacks, but like cuts to other realities maybe, or
You don't, yeah. There's a lot of the time where you're not really sure if what you're seeing is real or not.
yeah, or you're not
Because
sure
it just doesn't make sense based on what just
right,
happened.
or you're not sure when it takes place. Like
Right.
he comes into this lab and then you see him like at a party and you're like, is that the previous night or
It seems like it was. So I think the party part, at least a little bit made sense. Because like
Okay.
the movie starts and they're like, it's clearly the morning after this party.
right,
And they're going to the lab.
right,
And then, they later show scenes from the party to kind of introduce the characters as
Right.
being like strange people that the one guy doesn't like.
right. So the weird thing to me was that he was at the party and then he went to the like he had that tux on and he got in that car and then hit
I
himself.
have no idea
He
what
hit
that was
himself
about.
in the car.
Right.
Like he was not driving the car, but the car hit him. Which you find out later in the movie, and then he goes.
Spoiler: he hits himself in a car.
And then he
Doesn't
goes,
really spoil anything because it doesn't like.
it doesn't make any sense.
So it's not like you get to the end of the movie and you're like, oh no, that was him hitting himself in the car.
It's not like he time traveled, right? Like
yeah, no, it's just
it just doesn't make any sense. It's just maybe it wasn't him. Like it seems like they set it up to imply that it was him.
maybe it's just
That
a
was the-
metaphor. He hit somebody in a car, and then he gets hit with the car
Well, the thing is,
to show that his own actions are affecting others, and that comes around to
you're
affect
giving this movie
him.
way too much credit. And the the first time when he was in the car, you didn't even think he hit someone. Like you just heard the car speed up randomly.
Right.
And then it stopped. So like you didn't even know or think that the car had hit someone until later on in the movie when he got hit by the car.
Was this just an edit, by the way, or was it like a 15-second car ride and that's it?
I assume it was editing. I don't know why he would get in the car for 15 seconds.
Maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention, but it kind of did feel like it was a 15-second car ride where it was just like they were going along for a little bit.
Right.
It sped up and
Right.
slowed down pretty much like in a second,
Right.
and then they were there.
Right.
And I don't know what there was.
Right.
Also.
I'm
It was
honestly
just-
not even remembering where he was going in that car because he showed up and then is that when he was talking to the evil priest guy or
Oh. We didn't even talk about the evil priest guy. Alright, let's back up.
Okay, so the movie opens. There's like this Catholic bishop, I guess, who is talking to this priest.
Right.
And this priest is clearly doing some kind of scientific research about this kind of thing we're talking about, where he's like trying to link people's minds together.
Right.
And the bishop goes into the guy's laboratory to find this young child hooked up to a bunch of machines and basically completely like restrained,
Right.
which is clearly horrific. And the bishop's like, what is going on here? This is terrible. And then the priest just kind of hits the bishop in the head with his staff and knocks him out. And then,
I was under the impression that he beat him to death, because I don't know.
Maybe to death, I don't know.
I mean, if he just knocked him out, he's going to wake up later and be like, no, that was still pretty bad. Like,
Right.
you really still shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
he kills the guy, and then they just skip forward in time, I guess.
right. Apparently between that point and when the movie takes place, the priest guy has had some sort of, like, stroke or something, I guess?
Right, he's had some kind of injury that's caused one side of his face to just kind of droop and not...
Right, and he's also in a wheelchair.
Yes, and he's in a wheelchair.
Except at the end, he isn't in a wheelchair.
Right, he
'Cause that was
gets
the other
healed by
reality.
joining the... No, he gets healed by joining the hive mind or whatever.
No, but after that, he was in a different reality.
Oh, right, in the other reality, he was also not in a wheelchair.
Right.
Yes.
Because that was the one they were supposed to be in all along, I guess.
Right. That was the reason they collapsed this reality.
That's the I think that's the biggest problem with this movie.
What?
Is literally all of it doesn't matter because they die and then they're in this other reality
it's
that's
like-
like back at the beginning of the movie, but there's no conflict.
Right. Well, the thing is, it does matter a little. I see what you're saying. It's not quite as bad as if, like, the character had just woken up and it was all a dream. Like, it's a little better than that, in my opinion, because at least the plot seemed to indicate that it was necessary for all these events to take place in order to collapse this reality, right? So, if they hadn't done all that stuff, then this would just be the actual main reality.
Sure, but doesn't the other... I feel like they were talking about, like, the multiverse,
So, like, the other
Theory.
reality already exists.
where the other reality exists and is also equally valid.
Right.
So I guess there's some sort of like theory of consciousness thing that this movie is implying, which is that there are multiple realities, but you are attached to one of them, and you can switch
Unless you're a
between them by
supercomputer.
dying. Right, unless you're a super fluid computer with a bunch of other sciencey words attached that is clearly just some
A bunch of spinning spheres.
like concentric sphere things that are shit. It's like those nesting dolls, you know, that are just
Right,
like you
but
open one and there's a smaller one inside.
Right. But
Except
it's
not
spheres.
really like that.
And at all, really, at all. So it's
Right.
like a bunch of spheres where it's like a soccer ball, like where there's just like holes in it. So it's like
Yeah.
most of the spheres. Like, that's not worth explaining.
I kind of wanna find a picture of it so that we can try and let's see.
I see things I don't know that any way we explain it is going to be interesting for the listener to hear. It's a. He's just. I don't see anything on this first page of Google results. It's basically.
Yeah. There's
basi-
actually only like 20 results, which is interesting.
It's basically just a bunch of moving metal pieces.
Right. Did we say that the movie is called Mind Gamers?
I did
by the way?
I did say that in the beginning.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you were fixing the hand on your router at the time.
Got it.
So anyway, so the idea, one thing that I thought was interesting is they proposed, there's one character who proposed this universal observer theory which made no sense to me actually, but the idea was that every consciousness only exists because it's being observed by another consciousness.
I think they tried to imply that there was some sort of uncertainty principle concept going on there. Or at least, so they mentioned the double slit experiment. Are you familiar with the double slit
I'm
experiment?
familiar with it. I actually don't remember them mentioning it though.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of stood out to me. They mentioned that like by observing you
Oh, you changed.
influence
No.
the results,
yeah.
right? So like their therefore, I don't know if this was like a conclusion they drew from that. I don't remember why that was brought up.
And, well, it ticked me off. I don't remember why it was brought up either, but it ticked me off because it was like they were like, that must mean that the human consciousness is like somehow unique or something, like the power of the human mind, like, which is not why observing it changes it.
Right. It's like a, apparently consciousness needs to observe things in order for them to happen. So there must be a consciousness observing that consciousness, making it happen.
Right, and so the idea was that there could be just like one person observes, the next person observes, the next person observes, the next person, and it goes around in a circle. But this person thought that there must be one overarching consciousness observing everything,
right?
Kind of similar to God, but not like in the traditional sense.
Right.
But then at the end of the movie, they kind of implied that the computer who was seeing through these multiple realities was that overarching consciousness.
Yeah.
Also, we forgot to mention that the girl who is the manifestation of the computer was the same child who was being experimented on in the beginning of the movie.
Well, that's the point, right? That's why I'm not like super sold on this like she is the computer idea.
So what do you
I think there's a computer,
right?
And I think it's like possession isn't the right idea, but it's kind of like that.
The computer has taken over her mind.
Yeah, like she is essentially a piece of this computer now.
So the computer exists separate from her as well.
I guess.
I mean, it must. They see it in the movie.
She's a child before she was the observer for the computer.
Right, but it's possible that the computer could have transferred its entire quote-unquote consciousness into her mind, and then she was the entire computer. I don't think that was the case, because remember in the movie they go into that weird room with like the thing jutting out over the hole in the ground where the computer is.
The nesting doll sphere thingy.
Yes.
That isn't quite like that.
Yes. What a weird room that was, by the way. Like, why didn't you put railings up so people didn't accidentally fall in?
Yeah, there's like a diving board that goes over the middle, and when the dude first went in, that was like the first place he went, was the end of the diving board to look straight down in it.
Yeah.
Instead of literally anywhere else.
Yep. So.
And then he like talked to himself and said all of those Hollywood science keywords that make you think that
honestly, I'm pissed at okay, I can understand trying to make some scientific heads or tails out of what's going on. That's fine. And I can understand that because of what's going on here, it's not going to make much sense. But I think they tried way, way too hard to do it, and I can't cite anything specific, but it sounded way worse than it had to, in my opinion.
I think what they did was they came up with something that they felt was very intellectual and like cerebral and mind-bending. and they were like, oh man, we're so smart for having thought of this concept. Let's make sure we explain to the viewer in great detail what the concept is so they can see how smart we are.
Right, like showing off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. The idea makes no sense.
The idea doesn't make any sense, but
there was a lot of bad science in this movie.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, one thing we haven't mentioned at all.
Yes.
Is, which I don't know what we're going to say about this because I don't really know what the deal is. But those little patch things they had behind their ears.
Right.
That like tracked them.
Okay, so the thing is, right, so everyone had to wear one.
Yes.
And those things are what they used to connect everyone's mind, right?
Yes.
Right, but I'm not sure what they were used for before that. Like,
They were definitely used to get into places. It was just like, instead of giving them like an RFID card.
Oh.
And they also identified where they were.
The thing is, I never saw anyone tracking them, it seemed. And when they started ripping them off, you saw like the screen prompt that was like, this person just took off their chip but then nothing seemed to happen as a result of that. Like,
Right.
I would expect like security to like come in and remove them or something. But
Apparently, security in this movie isn't very effective. They just notice something is up and chase after you. But as long as you like guide the person away from the security into the lecture hall, they can't. That
that was also really weird. Like so they come into the scene is they come in, the 7 people who are part of this research group come into the lecture hall through the security, like metal detector thing, and apparently it does like a biometric scan of you in this movie. And the one girl apparently has drugs in her system,
which isn't good.
Allowed
apparently.
So security starts chasing them, and then they just get into the lecture hall, and apparently no one cares anymore. It's very weird. I think you're looking up an article about the movie here.
It has the trailer in it. I remember watching the trailer with you and thinking like, oh, this might be an okay movie. In that it's like
actual okay movie.
Obviously the science is going to be kind of bad and you can laugh at that, but I didn't expect it to just not make any sense.
Right. Yeah, we thought it'd be like that. One of the taglines was talking about like hacking the human brain. We're like, this is going to be terrible in a funny way.
Right.
But it turns out it was just terrible in a makes no sense at all way.
Yeah. The one thing I think we can say that the end, literally the very last scene in the movie, which I don't even remember what it is anymore, if we're being honest.
I think the very last scene is when you see this different reality where the guy's lecturing, and he's not deformed in any way.
There was something after that? Maybe not. I don't know. But basically it took until the literal very last scene for us to even have guesses as to what it all meant.
Right. Well, see, that I think what you're referencing is the scene where they all die, right? And then you see the girl who is the computer in some way, and she's I don't know, it seems like she's exited that reality. I actually don't remember what was happening in the scene that made me think this, but I got the impression that she was now outside of any specific reality.
Well, she was in kind of that concrete kind of, this ad is just flashing obnoxiously. It's terrible. She was in that concrete building area thing, but it was all just crumbling around her and being sucked down into the eye vortex.
Oh right,
thingy.
That was the.
And so that was clearly not part of reality, or maybe it was. Maybe that's how they're showing okay, everyone's dead, so this reality, these specific 100 people have died, so the entire universe is ending.
That's another weird thing. It's the entire universe just ceases to exist because of these specific people.
Yeah.
That is,
I guess,
nonsense.
Maybe
what?
I don't know, because the whole point of it, they were some sort of research institution or university looking kind of thing,
right?
Or whatever, and they were the ones doing all the research and work on this,
right?
So maybe it makes sense if all of them are dead that something is broken reality or something. I don't know if this is just trying to give the movie credit again, where it just.
Yeah, it just still doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say about the movie.
Yeah, honestly, it was bad.
It was very bad.
Don't watch it.
Do not. All right. We can play the game now.
Do you want to?
Welcome back from our brief break. I don't know exactly how Nathan's going to edit it, but we are going to be playing Joel the Game right now. So we'll with our remaining half an hour. So we're all starting out with 10 points.
Because that's the rules.
Because then there's the rules. I guess I probably should turn this over so you can't see what my bet was. And instead of doing the find an item game, since we're all in the same location at the moment, we will be doing the rock, paper, scissors that we changed from David's choice last time.
In the future, if you have any feedback on that, if you would like to see us all fight over the items in the same location, please just.
I don't know how they would be able to see us. It's an audio medium.
That's fair.
We would like to hear us fight.
Right. Anyway,
let's begin.
Our first game is
Jack.
The Jack.
Guess the song.
All right.
So it being your turn, you can decide who you want to challenge.
I will challenge Alex.
Okay.
Therefore, Joel will
bet
on a winner without telling us.
So we're each going to pick a song for the other and play it. So Joel, write on there somewhere who you think will guess the song faster. This is a tough one because I've been playing my playlists a bit in the car, so I can't just go to my playlist and play something because you would immediately know it.
That's not necessarily true. Well, I think I'm going to go get my laptop charger.
All right. I guess I'll just talk while we do that. So, thanks for listening to episode 63, everyone. I said before. We're excited to have Joel here, even though he hasn't said much. We are all, I guess I didn't really mention it up top, but we are all in the same location at Nathan's address. Which is... I almost said that, but I felt bad about making you edit that again. Which we said last episode, so
right.
You're 526,
524.
524, sorry. You know what it is. Everyone else, too bad for you. Alright, I've got mine, which I think you will be able to get. So... I'm just gonna start.
All right, you go first.
Here we go.
I think this is called Lazy Song.
It is not.
No. Oh no, this is I'm Yours.
Yes. 11 seconds.
Great.
All right.
That was good.
That was very good.
All right, here you go. Hopefully there's not an ad at the beginning because I just pulled it up on YouTube.
Great.
Is my laptop muted? No.
Oh. Living on a Prayer?
Yep, and that was 13 seconds.
It was silent in the beginning.
Okay, I might give you that. Let's see how long it was silent.
This is so long.
Okay, it was silent for 5 seconds.
All right, so that's
you got 8 seconds.
So I think I win
which is
that.
Fine.
All right, Joe, who did you bet on?
I bet on Alex.
Nice.
Darn.
All right. So before anyone marks their points, let me draw the modifier, which is the Jack of Diamonds, which is, you don't have it pulled up.
I don't know.
It is swap bets.
So you and I think, swap bets. Since
Okay.
we were the players in this game.
Okay, I bet 10. What did
I
you
bet 10.
All right, so it didn't matter.
Nothing happened.
All right, so I will go up to 20.
And I'm down to 0.
And Joel?
I bet 10.
So you're up to 20. All right, great.
Good work, everyone but me.
So everyone write their new bet.
And then Alex will draw for our next game.
Draw for game. Game is
The 3.
who has the highest card.
All right.
So here's how this works. Everyone's going to draw a card and look at it. Don't reveal it. And I'm going to count up and reveal once it gets to your card. So
Very dramatic.
yeah, it's very dramatic.
Here we go.
If you have a 2, reveal it. If you have a 3, reveal it. If you have a 4, reveal it. If you have a 5, reveal it. Uh-oh. If you have a 6, reveal it. No one's revealing. If you have a 7, reveal it. If you have an 8, reveal it. I have an 8. So just Joel and Nathan left. If you have a 9, reveal it. Oh, Joel has a 9. Nathan with the Jack.
Jack.
Nicely done. Nathan is the winner of this game.
Alright, and our modifier, Joel, is
Draw a card.
the 4 of clubs.
Which is minus 10 points to everyone.
Cool.
So
I'm still at 0.
I bet 10, but that additional 10 takes me down to 0. Alright. Cool. And Joel, I assume you're also down to 0?
Yes, I bet 15. And
And then
got
minus 10. So, alright, great. So, Joel, why don't you draw for the next game? 6 of spades. That is guest choice. Your choice, Joel.
You
can look at the
list of
games on
things.
here and choose one.
I will choose The Price is Right, but not Prices.
Alright, so being it your turn, you decide what quantity we shall be guessing. And it has to be one that none of us will obviously know.
And it should be something that we can definitively
Look up.
look up afterwards. And I will tell you that in the past we have done the population of Madagascar and the
Area of Oklahoma, which we all had no idea for.
Really dumb.
Diameter of Neptune.
Diameter of Neptune. In miles or?
In whatever unit you want. we'll
Okay,
convert
so
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see. Neptune. I have no idea how big Neptune is.
It's pretty small. I'm
Think-
gonna guess.
think
I'm gonna
like-
guess 10.
Like a few
Length
meters.
of Rhode Island.
yes.
Let's see.
Like literal tens of millimeters.
I don't even know what is Neptune a gas? It's not gas, right?
Oh boy.
Alright, I guess I'll just guess on the lower end.
Okay.
Don't look at my answer.
It's too late. I already saw it.
Fuck. Alright.
So now we need to look up the diameter of Neptune, and while someone is doing that, I will reveal that I guessed 11,000 kilometers.
Okay, I guessed 8,000 kilometers.
I guessed 50,000.
At least I was in the right ballpark. And
Okay. Correct
got it.
answer
and I just
is.
looked up the answer in miles and see kilometers. 49,240.
Oh, that is so close.
So Joe was-
that Joel went over.
Unfortunate.
So much better guessing than us,
Yeah, but unfortunately nothing to show for it.
nothing to show
So,
for it.
Nathan, let's see the modifier.
The modifier is the 7 of clubs, which I think is
Yes,
minus 10 to
it
everyone.
is. Everyone stays at 0.
So this is going great.
All right. Nathan, let's see the next game.
It is.
2. 10 questions, but with some starter facts.
Okay, so I believe I am the guesser, and I also have to pick one of you. So I'm going to pick Joel this time.
Okay, so I will. So the way this works, Joel, is. Why don't you explain it while I write down who I think is going to win?
Okay, so essentially this is a very fuzzy boundary at the beginning where I'm trying to narrow it down a bit first without needing to ask questions. So I'll say it is an animal. And it has 4 legs, and at some point you're just gonna say, all right, that's too much detail. That's
To
enough
guess into
facts.
questions, right?
So, we kind of agree that it's reasonable to start from there, and there are 10 questions left to guess. I think the idea was we would make it a shorter game than 20 questions.
Right, that was the idea.
So do you name the facts and then I pick a thing that fits those facts?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I think I'm going to literally do
I've made my bet already.
what I just said as my example. So I'm going to say it's an animal.
Mm-hmm.
It has 4 legs.
Okay.
It has stripes. And it's a tiger.
You you have to stop him at some
Yeah,
point. So say, okay, I think that's.
I think to be fair, the 4-legged animal is probably a good point.
Yeah. So Joel, you think of a 4-legged animal, and let us know when you've done so, and then we shall begin the questioning.
I don't know whether it would be
Do I need to
good.
write it down?
That would probably be good.
Yeah. I don't know whether it would be good or bad for him to now pick tiger. Just as a
I assume I mean, if you guess properly, it shouldn't matter. Like, you'll narrow it down in a reasonable way.
I have a feeling I'm going to get to the 9th question and have it narrowed down to like lion or tiger. I'm going to have to make that guess.
Alright.
Alright.
Let's hear it.
Is it commonly a pet?
No.
One question.
Is it a reptile?
No.
2.
Is it a mammal?
Yes.
3.
Is it about the same size as or larger than a golden retriever?
Can I look that up?
Sure.
I guess, yeah. Which is probably smart. I feel like we've played this game before, and like one of us didn't
I assume
know.
by size you mean mass.
Yes. I guess what I'm more interested in is like approximate body dimensions, but I'm assuming that all animals have approximately the same density, with no evidence to
I
back
mean,
that
we
up.
just went to the zoo today, and
Yes.
I think we could say that's false just from the exhibits we saw.
Is it larger than a beaver?
I mean, we saw seals that were 6 feet long and like 300 pounds, so it's like,
And your question was greater than or equal to the
yeah,
size of a golden retriever.
that's his question.
Yes.
And in that case,
In that case, I'm not entertaining enough to fill all this dead air.
okay. Yes, it is greater than or equal to the size of a golden retriever.
Okay. Is it
That's 4 questions.
commonly found in North America?
I feel like this. Yeah, go ahead. It's much smarter for him to look all this info up, because I think before I may have like answered like I don't know,
Just-
even though I have a computer sitting right in front of me. I can't-
Yeah.
No.
Not found in North
That's
America.
5 questions.
Alright, we're halfway there. And I still have no idea.
It's looking like a tiger.
But a small golden retriever sized tiger.
No, it
Well,
is-
oh no.
It's greater than.
Greater than.
You
Or
all
equal
you know
to.
is it's not smaller than a golden
Definitely
retriever.
not smaller than a golden retriever. Okay.
It's not a small tiger.
Not a baby tiger. Is it commonly
It is commonly.
domesticated?
It's interesting that you would need to look that up. Seems like
No.
okay.
Okay.
That's 6.
So it's a
4 left.
mammal that is not a pet or domesticated and is equal to or larger than a golden retriever in size. Is it gray?
On 3, let's both say the worst thing about this unknown animal. 1, 2, 3.
Nothing.
Oh, it's
Darn.
too gray.
That's very vague.
Okay.
The Wikipedia article, which mentions the color,
Okay.
well,
I will welcome more than a yes or no answer here if you would like to give some detail about its coloration.
I think you could call into question either yes or no.
That's frustrating.
But that's an answer.
Okay. Let's see.
I mean, it's a pretty. I mean, most animals aren't just one color.
Well,
They usually are a range of colors.
okay.
Gray is a very Like they just don't have a lot of color saturation. Are they gray? No.
That's 7 questions, right?
Yes, it is.
Is it prominently featured in Disney's The Lion King?
I'm guessing Joel has not seen the
I have
Lion.
no idea which animals are prominently featured in Disney.
All right, so just list just
That question was mostly a joke.
Okay.
Is
Mostly?
it? Well, I mean, it would have been helpful information if it was. Well,
If it was
probably
a
would
yes.
not have been. But yeah, is it found mainly in Africa?
I think he was going for, is it an elephant with the gray question?
Yes.
Maybe a rhinoceros.
My strategy in this game is, which is a very bad strategy, by the way, is I have something in mind and I ask a question where if the answer is yes,
I'll
then
know
that'll
what
be
it
the
is.
thing. Yes.
Yes, it is primarily found in Africa.
Okay, that is 8. So I have 2 more questions, including guessing what it is.
Right.
So I have
you
one
have
more question.
One
basically.
non-guessing what it is question.
Is it a solitary animal as opposed to like a pack animal?
Joel's getting his research in for this question.
I mean, he should have thought of a more common animal. It would have been easier for both of us.
Here we go. Social behavior.
There you
Social
go.
behavior.
That's what we need.
So what was the exact question?
Is it
Was it a solitary animal as opposed to a
No.
pack animal? Is it a hyena?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! I cannot believe it. That's what the Lion King question was.
It was, yeah.
Well, I'm happy because I did bet that Nathan would win that game.
That was incredibly lucky for you.
So, by question 7, I'm like, I'm totally screwed. He's not going to get this. Wow. Nicely done. Here's the modifier.
Joker, what did you leave that in there for?
I didn't know there were jokers in the deck.
What do you mean you didn't know there were jokers in the deck? 4 of hearts.
4 of hearts gives us plus 5 points to winner.
Which is
Me
both of
and
us.
you.
And nothing for Joel.
And I bit 10, so I'm up to 15.
Same. Alright, I've made my bet for the next game, and Alex will reveal that the game is the 10.
Quick memorize.
Excellent. What are we quickly memorizing?
Let's quickly memorize the 13th Amendment.
Okay. So what you'll do is you will find the text without reading it
Yeah.
too closely
Try
and
to-
then switch to a different tab or something. Then we'll set a 10-second timer for which time you were allowed to look at it again.
I want the actual text, not a description.
Okay.
So, we're going to exclude the amendment name and number and section headers. So just the actual text starting at section 1 is what we'll be thinking about here. So
So the word after
I'm not looking at it right now.
section 1.
I saw it said like Amendment 13, Section 1,
one.
and then there was some text. That's the text I'm talking about. That will
Okay.
start on.
Alright, so I am ready.
I'm ready.
Pulling up a timer. All right, ready,
Yep.
set, go. Oh, time is way up. It just didn't beep.
Okay, well, we all got the extra time. That's
Cool.
fine. So,
All right.
you begin.
So I begin. Neither
Slavery.
Nor
involuntary
Servitude.
accept.
in.
Don't believe that's right.
Let me just check. You don't check. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's not in. So now I'm out. So now it's just you two. So you say what the next word is if it's not in.
As.
A.
I'm not going to referee, so you guys have to call each other out if you.
Incorrect.
It is correct. as a punishment.
As a punishment. Okay.
Yes. So,
As
congratulations.
a
Nathan always wins
punishment
that
for crime.
one. Yep.
I read that twice because it seemed like it should be as punishment for a crime, but it wasn't.
Yes.
So,
All right, so nicely done, Nathan. Joel, let's see the modifier.
6 of hearts.
6 of hearts, that's another plus 5 points to winner.
great
So,
job, me.
I bet 10, which takes me down to 5.
I bet 10 as well, plus my 5 to get me up to 30.
Joel, are you still at 0?
Yes.
Nice. Alrighty.
That can change very quickly.
Yes.
It is your turn to draw the game.
The 9 of hearts.
9. Find an item which we are replacing with rock, paper, scissors.
Excellent. Here we go.
So, here we go. Rock. Hold on. What?
What?
Sorry, nothing. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, 3-way tie. Go again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, 3-way tie. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, I win. I
Alex
pressed both
wins.
of your scissors with my rock. So, let's see the modifier, Nathan.
The modifier is 2 of spades, which is nothing.
Jinx. So I bet 10, which takes me up to back up to 15.
I bet 15, which takes me down to 15.
And I still stays at 0.
All right.
Nathan.
Here is our next game.
8. Tongue twister.
Great. I'm going to...
We had a website last time, but I
Oh.
forgot it.
TongueTwister.com.
That's not what it was. I thought that was a joke, and then you looked at me as if you were waiting for me to answer.
I feel like that's probably a website that shows you tongue twisters.
Go find out.
Okay, go to smart-words.org/tongue-twisters.html.
.html.
And
Thank you to smartwords.org. Alright.
go to number 23.
Alright.
Alex, would you do
I will.
the timing?
Love to do the timing
And then
honors.
when it's Alex's turn, Joel can time Alex.
Alright.
So, this one's about a racehorse, just to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Yep.
Okay.
Ready when you are.
1-1 was a racehorse, 2-2 was 1-2, when 1-1-1-1 race, 2-2-1-1-2.
4.09 seconds. Nicely done. Alright. You ready for me to time me, Joel?
Yep.
Alright. Just start as soon as I start talking. 1-1 was a racehorse. 2-2 was 1-2. When 1-1-1-1 race, 2-2-1-1-2.
3.27 seconds.
Nice.
I'm definitely better at this than I am.
Yes. Alright. You ready, Joel? Let me
Yeah.
reset. I'm ready when you are. Start whenever you're ready.
1-1 was a racehorse, 2-2 was 1-2, when 1-1-1-1 race, 2-2-1-1-2.
3.37 seconds. Very close, but I pull out the victory on that one.
Wow.
Let's see what the modifier is.
Rules of Texas Hold'em.
The modifier is,
4 of diamonds.
which is plus 5 points to loser.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Yay.
you guys get a redeeming plus 5 points. And I bet 10, which takes me up to 25.
Is the modifier applied before or after the bet?
After.
Cool.
You bet 10 and you lost it, but plus 5, but
So you
that doesn't
lose only
offset the 10. Yeah.
Alright.
Wait,
What?
you said it's applied after the bet, right?
Yes.
You
so
have 5 points,
Yeah, okay.
is
That's
what I'm
yes,
saying.
that's correct.
We were joking about the other scenario, saying that's not what the scenario is.
Right, right.
Alright. The next game comes from me, I believe.
That's correct.
And I hope it's not another joker or non-card. It is.
The 2.
2 is 10 questions, but with some starter facts. Alright, Nathan, you shall be the thinker this time.
Okay.
I'll be guessing. Joel, write down who you think will win. So, we will be guessing a place
Okay.
that is a city.
Okay.
You think that's good, or
What would your next one be?
it would be
Decided whether or
like
not to allow
it would
that.
be like it's in North America?
I think that's fair as well.
Okay. All right.
So I will think of a North American city. And then pull up the Wikipedia page so I can give you accurate answers about it.
And try to pick one that I will have heard of.
Yeah.
This is an obscure Canadian. So, hopefully he just picks like New York or something easy. But I don't think he will.
Should be fairly easy to just narrow down binary search across the geography.
Right. The problem is it's not necessarily easy to just eliminate half of the cities every single question.
Actually,
Is it
not
on the left or
that
right half
confident
of North
that you have
America?
heard of this.
But there's not that only works if cities are uniformly distributed across North America. Otherwise, I might eliminate more or less than half of the cities.
That's fair. It's an unbalanced binary tree, but
Well, in that case, I'm always no matter what question I ask.
I guess in the case of an unbalanced binary tree, the worst case scenario is you have to go through every city.
Yes.
So that wouldn't be ideal.
Okay, I have selected my city. My
All right.
North American city.
Question 1: Is the city in the United States or Canada? Is it in one of
Yes.
those? Okay. Question 2: Is it in the United States?
No.
Okay. Question 3. I don't know that many Canadian cities, so maybe I should just spend the next 8 guesses guessing every Canadian city I know.
That would probably be the best strategy because I don't.
Is it Quebec? That's my third question.
No.
Is it Montreal?
No.
Is it Toronto?
No.
Is it Vancouver?
No.
Alright, I have 4 guesses left. What other cities do I know that are in Quebec, or in Canada? Quebec's not a city, is it?
I don't think
Shit.
it is.
That's why you sat
That's
there
why
for
I
a
was
second.
confused.
Or it is at least also not a city.
There
There is a larger area thing
Right.
called Quebec.
No, I know that. And
Yes.
same with Montreal, but I'm pretty sure Montreal's actually no. Shit, I don't know enough about Canada.
I'm just guessing Canadian places.
Is it? See,
I can tell you that Montreal is a city,
Yes, I know.
and there is a Quebec City, Quebec.
Yes, that's
But that's not what you asked about.
right.
So.
I know Quebec City now that I've realized that Quebec is not a city. But the fact that you just looked that up makes me think that it's not the actual answer. So, what other cities are there in Canada that I know of? Let me ask this. Let's ask this. Let's ask non. Is it, if you divided Canada straight down the middle, roughly geographically,
Yep.
is it on the eastern half?
Oh man.
Okay, so it's about
No.
It's on the western half, but in the middle. This is definitely gonna be a city that I'm gonna not know it, but then when you say it, it'll be like, oh yeah, definitely heard of that city.
Yeah.
How many questions do I have left? 3.
Yeah, that was your 7th.
Has the Olympics ever been held in this city? It's just checking.
Let's see.
Probably just Control F Olympics.
That's what I did, and something came up, but it isn't actually about them hosting the Olympics.
Okay. So 2
Your
questions
8th
left.
question.
Thing is, I'm just trying to think of any more cities.
Just ask a very generic question, and then guess it on the 10th guess.
Yeah, that's a
It's not
good.
that hard.
That's what you do. Still. No, I almost guessed if it was Quebec City, but I'm pretty sure that's in the east anyway. So. Does it have a population of more than 5 million? That's a bad question. It definitely doesn't.
Population. Nope, it does not.
Yeah.
All right, what's your guess? Your 100% correct guess.
I cannot think of another Canadian city. I know there's going to be some listener out there who's like, Alex, you're such an idiot. It's obviously...
The thing is, you had so many guesses that didn't narrow it down at all, but...
Well, the thing is, the problem is not that I have too many options, it's that I can't think of another city. So...
Okay. Yeah, then there's definitely listeners out there who are going, okay, here are like several more
that I can think
that
of.
you can think of. I even had some other ones that I could have thought of that are maybe more obscure. I don't know that really matters, though, based on
how my apparent knowledge of Canadian cities.
Right.
All right, I think I don't know it, so I'm just going to guess Quebec City.
It is not Quebec City.
Darn.
It is Winnipeg.
Yep. That is exactly the city. I definitely know of Winnipeg. Just didn't think of it.
I tried to think of the biggest Canadian city I could think of that didn't have an NHL franchise.
Well, you did a bad job because Winnipeg does have an NHL franchise.
Do they? What is it?
Winnipeg Jets.
Oh. I guess that's obscure. How was I supposed to know that there was an NHL franchise that didn't matter?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, Joel, did you bet on me or Nathan?
I bet on Nathan.
Of course you did. All right.
Smart money's on me. What's our modifier, Joel?
Ooh, please be the swap.
Ace of clubs.
Ace of clubs is minus 10 points to everyone. All right. So that takes me down to 0 since I bet 15.
That leaves me at 10. Because luckily
5.
I bet all of my 10.
Darn. I had a little bit of a nest egg and immediately lost it.
Same.
All right, Joel, next game.
10 of hearts.
10 of hearts. Quick memorize. Joel, what are we memorizing?
Let's go with the 27th Amendment. There are that many,
Yep.
right?
There are.
So
Have you heard of Monterrey, Mexico?
Nope.
Okay, that was actually my first choice, but I didn't think it was well known enough.
Wow. That is a short amendment. All right.
Then I thought of Cancun, Mexico, which is like the second Mexican city that I can think of just off the top of my head, so I didn't think that would be very good.
So assuming we're just starting with the actual text and not any headings.
That is 18.
Let me get the timer back out and make sure it will actually ring this time, beep this time.
27. There we go.
Why didn't it beep before?
Is your volume off?
I think it's because it's connected. No, it's not. I think it's because it's connected to my computer. Let's see.
did your computer ring?
I don't think so, but I'm going to see I'm just running it now. Okay, it actually rang that time for some reason.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Ready? Set. Go. Time's up. Man, that was much shorter than last time.
Yeah, but you only really memorize the first dozen words or so.
Yeah.
That's my strategy.
I never do, but... All right, Joel.
No. Law?
Varying.
The compensation?
I know the following words after this one. This one's either of or for. I'm going to go of.
Senators.
I think you're wrong.
Joel, you check. This should not take that long. Is it of senators?
No.
Okay. So you
The
senators,
or
representatives.
shall.
That's as far as I memorized. Nicely done.
I mean, we skipped like a whole...
Did we?
I think we did.
For the services of.
No, we didn't call each other out on it, so it doesn't count.
Rip. All right. Nicely done again, Nathan, as always, in this stupid-ass game. Nathan, draw the modifier.
It is
Please be.
4 of hearts.
4 of hearts is plus 5 points to winner.
Excellent.
So I stay at 0.
I move up
To
to
0.
25.
Just take my word for it. It can all go away so quickly.
I know that. Number 5 is our next game.
Number 5 is The Price is Right, but not Prices.
Excellent. We are going to be guessing. I wonder if this is. I mean, surely somewhere, right? The number of words in Moby Dick.
Okay. Excuse me. Moby Dick.
Okay.
Melville.
Has everyone made their guess?
I have, yep.
I'm going to look this up while I do that. What did everyone guess?
I guessed 200,000.
I guessed 500,000.
I guessed 88,050.
Website I've pulled up says 209,117.
The website I have pulled up says 215,517.
I found 206,052.
Okay, well either way, I'm the winner, right?
I think
This
that's
also
fair.
lists 17,088 unique words and 10,959 unique word stems. Average word length 4.4 characters.
Alright, here's the modifier.
2-0.
2 of what?
Spades, nothing.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, that's the more important thing. It's a spade, nothing.
Alright, so I'm back up to 10. What'd you bet, Nathan?
I bet 10, so I'm down to 15.
Alright.
And Alex picked the game. Ace.
Ace is Wikipedia Hunt. First time today. We shall be trying to get to the Wikipedia page for beer.
Okay.
From
Random page.
I
Start from our own random page.
have started. The random article it gave me is Seito Nari, which is a masculine Japanese given name.
I'm starting from Lorenzo Lotto, who was an Italian painter from 1480 to 1556 or 57.
Okay.
I am starting from Robert Carswell, who is a retired American football safety. He played for the San Diego Chargers.
All right,
Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go.
There's only 2 links on my page, and they're both dudes named Satonari. And I've got to the Imperial Japanese Navy from one of those guys.
I'm just on Italy.
And I guess I'm going to United States Navy to get to United States, hopefully.
I'm on the page Water Supply and Sanitation in Italy, heading to drinking water.
Why can't I find the United States on this? All right. United States Armed Forces instead. United States of America.
Safe to
We're
drink.
going to take a look at
Drinking.
culture. Food.
Alcoholic drink.
Wheat.
Beer. Got it.
Nice.
Do we keep going, or?
We do, just to establish an order, just in case. Probably won't be a need for it, but... Production and... no. Commercial use, probably. Oh, there we go. Beer. From wheat.
All right.
Start walking us through your path, Alex.
Well, I started at Lorenzo Lotto, like I said, and he took me to Italy. From Italy, I went to Water Supply and Sanitation in Italy, which I took to drinking water, to drinking, to alcoholic drink, to beer.
Nicely done. I went from Seitonari to Seitonari Tokugawa. who is a member of the Imperial Japanese Navy,
Of course.
which took me to United States Navy.
Oh, that's pretty good.
From there, I went to United States Armed Forces.
Yes.
To United States.
No United States on the Navy page.
I mean, I'm sure it was there somewhere, but I was just feeling slow and could definitely get to the Armed Forces. From United States, I went to wheat, and from wheat, I went to beer.
Nicely done, Joel.
I started at the Robert Carswell, and then I went to Gary, Indiana.
Great
Nice.
idea.
And then I got to 1920 United States Census, and then United States,
Okay.
and then Prohibition in the United States. And beer is not on that page. No, beer is on that page, but I have not seen any links
Right,
to
it's
beer
not
on
a
that
link.
page.
That's
Right.
rough.
That's ridiculous.
All right. Joel, let's see the modifier,
7 of spades.
which is nothing.
Cool.
So, I bet 10 off of my 10, so I'm up to 20.
I bet 10 of my 15, so I'm down to 5.
Wow, how long is this game going on?
We've played 12 rounds, and we've been recording for 40 minutes.
All right.
So let's just say, like, once more around the table, and then the scores stand.
All right. Joel, let's see the next game.
Ace of diamonds.
Another Wikipedia hunt.
Cool.
Joel, where are we headed?
Let's go to the page for Jupiter.
The planet, right? Not the deity?
Yes, the planet.
Jupiter the planet. I have received a Scottish town. No, mountain. A Scottish mountain.
My random article is New International Airport, which is in New Zealand. It's a very short article.
I have pulled up a bacterium, who I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of. So, it's a bacterium found in the Pacific Ocean.
All right. Excellent. Count us down, Joel.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I'm going to try Scotland.
I'm going to go to bacteria.
I go to New.
Atlantic
Island.
Ocean.
Let's go to gas. Ooh, methane.
Earth's surface. Ooh, I got to Earth. This is going to be almost certainly planet.
I have Earth. Also,
Solar system. Jupiter.
darn. Sun. Jupiter. Oh, these are not links to Jupiter.
You fool.
Oh, here's a link. Alright, I'm at Jupiter.
Okay.
That was better than I thought it was going to be. I went from my Scottish mountain to Scotland to Atlantic Ocean to Earth to planet to Jupiter.
I went from my bacterium to bacteria to methane, and from there I probably would have tried to find something related to the gas giants, but you were on Earth, so I just went to Earth, and then to Sun, and then to Jupiter.
I went to New, and then New Zealand, and then biogeography, and then Alex was done.
All right,
Our modifier is
King. Is that what I think it is? Double your bet, not what I thought it was. So I bet 10 to be conservative, but now I'm just all the way back down to 0 anyway.
I bet 10 from my 5, and instead of being at 15, that puts me at 25.
Nicely done. All right, Nathan. Next game.
Our next game is also a king.
My choice.
Alex's choice.
We haven't done this today. Let's play Hangman.
Okay, who are you challenging to Hangman?
No, who are you challenging to Hangman?
Oh, that's right. I played Joel last time, so I'm back to you.
All right.
Let's play.
So Joel, you're betting on who will win. So wait, are you writing down a word or am I writing down a word?
It's my turn, so I am the guesser.
Okay, so I will write down.
If that affects your bet, Joel, I am going to be guessing Alex's word.
He has 6 wrong guesses before he loses.
As
And
you
it
do.
has to be a maximum of 6 letters. And it is 6 letters. So, here you go. 6 letters. You have the floor.
O.
There are no O's.
A.
There is an A. There's one A, third letter.
N.
There is no N. It's 2 wrong guesses.
R.
There is an R directly after the A.
We got blank blank AR blank blank.
He has 4 wrong guesses left.
T.
There is a T directly after the R.
ART.
Blank blank ART blank. This is not looking good for me.
Y.
There is no Y.
Interesting.
Give our hangman a leg there. I know you're trying to think of what that last letter could be.
Yep. H.
No H. This is tough.
Yeah.
Two wrong guesses left.
And 3 letters to get.
Yes.
Is he allowed to guess the word? Or do you have to get all the letters to spell it out?
You can guess the word, but I won't tell him what if any letters are wrong. I'll tell him if the word's right or not, and it'll count as a wrong guess.
Okay.
You'll just write the entire word.
Right.
It's not this word.
Right.
Bad guess.
So I'm not going to tell him that each individual letter, whether any of the individual letters are in there or not.
Right.
So it's really not advantageous to do that,
Right.
unless you're sure.
Man, what even is the alphabet? It's so hard.
There are 26 or so.
Not or so. There are 20.
If you go to, like, preschool or kindergarten,
There's a song-
they'll teach you on, like, 27 or 28 individual characters.
What other characters do they teach you?
They teach you, like, different forms of A, like the Times New Roman one.
I think they
So
teach
it's
you
like a
like
backwards
uppercase.
6.
He's pulled up an image of the alphabet.
It's like the fridge magnet letters.
I mean,
It helps.
okay, that's fine. In kindergarten, you learn, like actually 52 because uppercase and lowercase for each letter.
But now they teach recognition of the different shapes of some of them.
So they show like multiple lowercase a's.
Like
I understand what you're
yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Yes.
Good attempt.
S.
There is no S.
This is not looking
One
good.
guess. One wrong guess left.
Not looking good. It's got to be a vowel, right? I've already got A. TB doesn't make any sense. TC, TD, TE is fine. TF, TG, I already guessed H, TI, TJ, TK, TL, TM, TP, TQ, no, TR, I already guessed R, I already guessed S. It is T, TU, TV, TW, TX, I already guessed Y, TZ. It's got to be E.
No.
No! What is this
Hangman.
nonsense word?
QUARTZ, quart.
No! No, that was a good word.
Thank you.
Alright, Joel,
Did
I
you?
bet on Alex.
You are very good at that, Joel. I do have to say that.
are you 3 for 3?
It's 3 for 3.
Or 2 for
I
3?
lost on the first one. I bet on Alex, and you got this song.
Oh.
Got it.
No, I did win
He
that.
did win that one.
'Cause
You
there was-
did.
Right, yeah.
Because
I
of
got
the
20, yeah.
time.
Yes, I am 3 for 3 on that.
Well done. Alright, what's our modifier?
Modifier is hopefully an actual card.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Nope. 8 of diamonds.
8 of diamonds, plus 5 points to loser.
Hey, that's nice.
So I'm up to 10.
And I only bet 5 conservatively, and I got my 5 back, so I remain at 25.
Back up to 10.
Alright.
Bets made. Alex is choosing our next game. Jack.
Guess the song.
Alright, who do you
Joel,
challenge?
take me on.
Oh god. I can almost guarantee I won't guess your song.
I'll try to pick one you know.
Good luck. Do I have to pick a song that I know?
You don't
have to pick
just
a
have to pick a
song
song you think I would
think
know.
That I
knows.
think he knows.
Yes.
Oh boy. What does Alex?
See, I now have all of the songs that I've done with you before. I can pick them again since
Yes.
Joel hasn't listened to any of those
Right.
episodes before. So
That we know of.
I'm pretty sure.
I suppose he hasn't sent us any emails, so that's a pretty safe bet. If you listen to the podcast,
Also-
you definitely sent us emails.
Also, when he got here, he said, "You guys are still doing that podcast."
I guess that's true also.
Maybe I had listened to it and knew these games were
I mean,
a
if-
major feature.
If you
and then
if you gamed us like that,
He's
then you
been-
deserve to win it.
Training all along.
I forgot I put this song on my playlist.
okay.
All right, Joel. I think
Do I need to?
I
I
think.
guess I just pause the song after you guess, and then.
Yep, and that's how long.
Okay.
So I will play mine first, and I really think you will know this song.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Fantasy?
Caught in a landslide.
It's not bad. Do you just want to give up?
Escape from reality.
might-
Yes. I have heard the song before. I have no idea what the title of the song is.
Okay,
It's also not ever said as a lyric in the song,
Yes.
so
it was Bohemian Rhapsody.
All right, Alex, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I should have made a bet.
Well,
It's too late because he's already done it.
Yeah, so I think.
I'll just
and it's impossible for Alex to lose at this point.
Well, I could also not know your song.
But I know that you know the
if
song.
he happens to not know this song, I will make a bet after that. Otherwise,
Okay, just play the song.
executive decision, I'll just not gain or lose points.
Lose yourself. All right.
Good work, everyone.
Sorry, Joel. Thought you would know it. Oh, modifier. We forgot.
King of Hearts.
Double your bet. Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
I go up to
Get
30.
000.
0-0.
Alright. This will be our final game.
Okay.
Are
So now I have to bet so
we
that.
mathematically eliminated?
Huh?
I have 0.
You're not mathematically. Well, you're not because Nathan could
If
bet.
you bet 10 and win,
And Nathan and we both go down
then we
to
both
0.
make dumb bets.
So I guess we are not mathematically eliminated because it's technically possible for Nathan to be stupid.
Yes. And
Okay.
me to be stupid.
Alex actually has more points than I do at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just got 20 so because of the double, so I'm at 30.
Okay. I have placed my bet.
See, the thing is, if you win
Then
And
you
I
will
bet-
have lost.
and I lose, presumably you've bet enough that you'll be over 30. But if I win, then you've lost. So I may as well just bet 0, right? Because I can't gain anything from. If I win, you already don't go up. So
I guess so.
I bet 0. I guess I probably shouldn't have said that, but Joel, it's your
Thanks for
game.
talking it through with us.
It is Queen.
Nathan's choice. I know what he's gonna pick.
Do you?
I don't, but I know what I would pick if I were you.
He's gonna pick.
He's gonna pick who's the highest card.
I'm actually really considering that.
It would be a great ending to the game.
just for the chance of it all. I think I want to go for it.
All right, who is the highest card?
Oh,
All right, here we go.
scroll you guys this time.
Hope so.
Reveal if you have a 2. Reveal if you have a 3. If you have a 4.
Damn.
They both had 4s.
But I both had the 4 of diamonds.
Jokes on them. They couldn't have beaten my ace.
Yikes.
So
Well,
Nice.
I left it up to fate, and fate decided that I...
What? Wait, there's one last chance.
The modifier.
The modifier. What is it?
The 7 of diamonds.
Plus 5 points to loser. So what did you bet?
I bet 6
So you lose 6 and gain
and
5.
gain 5,
so minus 1, so I
lose
still
1 point.
If you had bet 0, you could have tied
I
me.
could have tied you.
But that's kind of dumb, so.
It is. So,
Alright,
we finished the game
good game.
with Alex winning. Good work. Bring us home. After an additional 1 hour of this.
Did you stop it already?
No.
Oh,
You need
great.
to end the
Yes,
podcast.
I just wanted to make. That's why I was asking. So, thanks for listening, everybody. As we said, send us an email. Sorry for the way over time on this one, but we know you love to listen to us play this game since no one's emailed us saying they don't. So, thanks for listening. I'm Alex,
I'm Alex.
and that's also Alex, and this has been our podcast.
Joel.